the great Yoruba people. Join me on an incredible journey as we delve into the rich and vibrant culture of the great Yoruba people. From their ancient traditions and customs to their stunning art and architecture, we'll explore it all. Discover the fascinating history, myths and legends that have shaped this incredible civilization. Get ready to be amazed by the beauty, diversity and resilience of the Yoruba people. Olodumare, the supreme, omnipotent and benevolent God in Yoruba religious tradition. He is the ultimate source of power and creativity. He is associated with the concept of destiny and often depicted as compassionate and protective. Olodumare ordered Obatala to create the earth. However, he indulged in palm wine and got drunk on his way. A contemporary Orisa to the former Aduduwa took the items of creation from him, descended from the abode of the Orishas on a chain and cast a handful of earth on the primordial ocean. Olodumare, the earth rose became a mold called Okewa, and then put a 5-toed cockerel on its primordial mold so it would scatter the earth around, thus creating the land on which Alaafin, the first city, would be built. Aduduwa planted a palm knot in the hole in the newly formed land, and from there sprang a great tree with 16 branches, a symbolic representation of the 16 clans of the early pre-urban confederation. Olodumare, Aduduwa, created the world. He also became the ancestor of the first divine king of the Yoruba, while Obatala is believed to have created the first Yoruba people out of clay. The meaning of the word Ife in Yoruba is expansion. Alaafin is therefore a reference to the myth of origin as the land of expansion. The word Ele is pronounced in the modern Yoruba language means house or home, which would make the name of the city means the home of expansion. Olodumare. The Orishas are divine beings in Yoruba religion, each associated with specific elements of nature, human qualities and various aspects of life. These deities are central to the Yoruba pantheons and play an essential role in Yoruba spiritual practices. What follows is a brief description of some of the most well-known Orishas, their attributes and their significance. Olodumare, Eshu the messenger, is crucial in the Yoruba pantheon, as every ritual or sacrifice must honor him to ensure that communication with other Orishas is clear. He is seen as a playful but wise and protective. Ogun, the god of iron, war and labor, represents the transformative power of labor and industry. He is revered by people who work with metal and is often invoked for strength, protection, and success in battle or challenging task. Olodumare, Shango, the god of thunder, fire, and justice, represents power, authority, and leadership. He is a symbol of righteous rule and justice. His energy is invoked for protection, strength, and leadership, and to call down the divine justice in times of injustice. Yemoja, the mother of all Orishas, goddess of Ogun, is revered for her maternal qualities and is a goddess of abundance and prosperity. She represents creativity, life, protection of families and communities. Olodumare, Oshun, the goddess of love, beauty and rivers, is the goddess of love and wealth. She is invoked for matters related to love, fertility and financial success. She considered the most compassionate of the Orishas, offering emotional and spiritual support. Obatala, the Orisha of purity, wisdom, and justice, is the Orishas of clarity and truth. He is invoked for guidance in difficult situations and for matters relating to fairness, peace, and ethical leadership. Olodumare, Oya, the goddess of storms, wind, and transformation. She represents the power of change and transformation. She is invoked during times of great upheaval or when there is a need for personal or societal transformation. Orunmila, the Orisha of wisdom, knowledge, and divination, is considered the custodian of wisdom and is highly revered by the practitioners of Ifa divination. She helps guide people towards the right decision and understanding of their destinies. A journey through the great Yoruba kingdoms, the Ifa kingdom, the spiritual and mythical origins of the Yoruba people. It is the important religious center for the worship of Orishas, the gods and goddesses. The place where life and civilization began according to Yoruba mythology. Ife was the first and most revered Yoruba kingdom, ruled by the Oni Ife, who is considered the spiritual leader of the Yoruba people. The Oni is seen as a direct descendant of Aduduwa, the legendary founder of the Yoruba civilization. The current Oni of Ife is Oba Adeyeye Etan Ogunwusi Oja II. The great Yoruba kingdoms. The Oyo Kingdom. A Yoruba empire, it was one of the West Africa's greatest civilizations. Its political systems, military strengths, and cultural impact made it a dominant force for centuries. Even today, the traditions of Oyo influence Yoruba leadership, governance, and religion. Great Yoruba Kingdom. Ijebu Kingdom. The Ijebu Kingdom is one of the most culturally vibrant in Yoruba history, with its Ojun Aba festival, powerful Awanaje kings, and deep-rooted traditions. The Ijebu people continue to play a major role in Yoruba and Nigerian society. Yoruba Standard Orthography, or modern Yoruba writing systems. Samuel Ajayi Crowther, born 1805, passed 1891, was a Yoruba linguist and the first African Anglican bishop in West Africa. He was born in Osogun, which is now Oyo State in Nigeria. Crowther was a Yoruba speaker and translated the Bible and other works into his native language. He was ahead of his time. These facts alone deserve celebration. His Bible translation was also remarkably effective, and his approach to the study and practice of mission was way ahead of his time. Widely known as a gentle, modest man, Samuel Crowther was responsible for successfully opening up the Yoruba kingdom to the gospel as a missionary bishop for the Church Mission Society. He employed a compelling dialogue approach, using local languages and scriptures. Indeed, he translated the entire Bible into Yoruba, spoken mainly in West Africa, including Crowther's home in what is now Nigeria. Yoruba was, after all, his mother tongue. Yoruba Standard Orthography, or modern Yoruba writing systems. Key features of Yoruba written format or standard orthography. The use of diacritical marks or accent for tone differentiation. Yoruba is a tonal language, meaning the tone of a word changes its meanings. The uses of Latin script with additional letters. Yoruba writing follows a structured system of tones and special letters and contractions to maintain clarity and accuracy. Proper use of tone marks is critical to avoid changing meanings. Great Yoruba Kingdoms. The 1888 treaty between Britain and the Alaafin of Oyo, signed on behalf of the Yoruba Kingdom. In the UK, it is the government that negotiates and signs treaties. Once signed, the document must be scrutinised by Parliament to confirm that the UK agrees to be bound by it. The treaty, which was negotiated for the Crown and signed on the Crown's behalf on the 23rd of July 1888, was ratified by the Crown on the 16th of June 1890. The treaty was negotiated and signed in person by the Alaafin of Oyo on the 23rd of July 1888, was ratified by him on acceptance of the consideration of £35 5 on the 16th of June 1890. It is now British law. Great Yoruba Kingdoms. The 1888 treaty between Britain and the Alaafin of Oyo, signed on behalf of the Yoruba Kingdom. The 1888 treaty recognised the Yoruba Kingdom as a nation equal to Britain in status. What follows are direct quotes from the 1888 treaty between Britain and the Alaafin of Oyo, signed on behalf of the Yoruba Kingdom. Direct quotes. Treaty between Adeyemi, Alaafin of Oyo, and head of Yorubaland, and Her Majesty the Queen of Britain and Ireland, July 1888. I, Adeyemi, Alaafin of Oyo, and head of the Yorubaland, the four corners of which are and have been from time immemorial known as Igba, Ketu, Yibba, and Oyo, embracing within its area that inhabited by all Yoruba-speaking people, being desirous of entering into and maintaining forever friendly relations with the subject of Her Majesty the Queen of Britain and Ireland, and of developing the resources of Yoruba by means of legitimate trade with the subjects of Her Majesty and those under her protection, or who may thereafter come under her protection, and in gratitude for what the Queen has at so much expense and risk to life done from time to time for my country, have at this day at the city of Oyo, in the presence of witnesses, declared my intention of abiding by the following articles. Great Yoruba Kingdoms. The 1888 treaty between Britain and the Alaafin of Oyo, signed on behalf of the Yoruba Kingdom. Direct quotation from the treaty. 1. From henceforth there shall be peace and friendship between the subjects of Her Majesty, the Queen, and those under her protection, and the Alaafin of Oyo, the King of Yorubaland, and his people, and all other peoples over whom he has authority and influence. 2. The subjects of the Queen may always trade freely with the people of Oyo and the Yoruba-speaking countries in every article they may wish to buy and sell, in all towns, rivers and creeks, water and markets, and places within territories known as Yoruba. And I, Adeyemi, pledge myself to show no favour and to give no privilege to the traders of other countries, which I do not give or show to those of the Queen. 3. British subjects and others under the Queen's protection are to have the first consideration in all trade transaction with my people. 4. No toll, duties, fees, imposts or charges shall be charged or levied upon the person or property of any British subject or other persons under Her Majesty's protection other than and beyond that of those which are customary and reasonable, or may from time to time be agreed upon to be levied or charged by the Governor of Lagos and myself. Great Yoruba Kingdoms, the 1888 treaty between Britain and the Alaafin of Oyo, signed on behalf of the Yoruba Kingdom. The 1888 treaty recognized the Yoruba Kingdom as a nation equal to Britain in status. Direct quotations from the treaty. 7. It is hereby further agreed that no cession of territory and no other treaty or agreement shall be made by me other than the one I have now made without the full understanding and the consent of the Governor for the time being of the said colony of Lagos. In consideration of the faithful observance of the foregoing articles of the agreement, the Government of Lagos will make unto me a yearly dash to the value of 200 bags of cowries. But such dash may, upon breach or neglect of all or any one or more of the provisions of the agreement, and at the discretion of the Governor of the Colony of Lagos, be altogether withdrawn or suspended. This treaty is signed and sealed by Oyo this 23rd day of July, 1888. Great Yoruba Kingdoms, the 1888 treaty between Britain and the Alaafin of Oyo, signed on behalf of the Yoruba Kingdom. The 1888 treaty recognized the Yoruba Kingdom as a nation equal to Britain in status. To join the campaign to enforce the 1888 treaty, contact the Yoruba Party UK. Email address info@yorubapartyuk.org or website address www.yorubapartyuk.org.